Hello, everybody, and welcome to Middle-Ageg Geeks. On this week's show, we'll be having a chat about Donkey Kong Bonanza and talk about some new movie trailers and what we've watched and played. And then we'll get stuck into the meat of the episode, which is our movie review, which after some feedback, the people have spoken and you asked us to do what we teased last week and really didn't want to. We are reviewing Superman, the fourth Superman film, The Quest for Peace. So Phil will take us through that monstrosity. Sweet mother of God. I'm one of your hosts, Daz, and I'm joined by Phil. How are you doing, buddy?
Not bad, yeah. Wishing I hadn't opened my fucking mouth last week by saying, "Oh yeah, we should do that some week when we've nothing else to do." Should have done fucking. I know what you did last summer or something else. This. What a horrific piece of shit movie. But apart from that, no, not too bad. Like yourself, you mentioned in the intro there, played a bit of Donkey Kong and enjoying the tiny bit of good weather we got. They had the whole live band and everything when I was out today with the Mutt. So the whole live thing and everything, yeah, the park and stuff. It was good crack down there. And just getting out and enjoying the sun. Well, we have it. Apart from that, man, fuck all. What about yourself?
Good, yeah. Just spent a lot of it, like you said, playing Donkey Kong and going to see Superman a few more times. Up to 6 now. It's fucking great.
Wow.
Yeah. Just I was in Dublin for a meeting and it was just like, right, okay, maybe there's a showing in 20 minutes. Why not? Fucking brilliant. So let's get stuck then into some movie news. And there's a few trailers popped up this week. What have you been checking out, Philly?
Yeah, like I mean, you spoke briefly about the trailer for Mortal Kombat 2. Very, very Carl Urban, Johnny Cage centric. Looks fucking terrible. Like I really thought I was watching come, man, this looks shit. I enjoyed the last one. I thought it was fine. Like it was a bit. I didn't like the idea of this new guy they kind of just brought in. That character, he was kind of shit, and his powers was shit. That wasn't great, but I enjoyed all the other, especially the opening, the early stuff that was all in Japanese and stuff. Yeah, but yeah, this looks poor, man. The effects look poor. It looks like it's going to be pretty terrible. I don't know, and I think Carl Urban probably maybe they should have got a younger actor. I don't know. I love Carl Urban. Don't get me wrong, but for this particular role, I thought maybe they might have gone younger.
It's a weird one because the first one, a couple of years ago was it 2022 or something? It promised so much, and it was just one of those where, you're taking such a beloved franchise and just tick the boxes, give us some kind of crazy, don't take itself too seriously, a bit of madness, get some fatalities and gore and whatever, tap into that lore and just go mad. And then someone has the wise idea to go, oh yeah, let's just create a completely new fucking character that like no one fucking knows, as you said, shit power, shit, just stupid, and just go like, how do you alienate all the possible fans that are going to go to see your fucking movie?
His power is getting the shit kicked out of him. Like that was his power. Like.
Just like, what the fuck? But that whole thing, I didn't understand. Yeah, with that movie, but with this one, if I wasn't so disappointed with that movie, this one, like the trailer, like it looks goofy and silly and it doesn't take itself too seriously. And if that other movie didn't exist, you'd be looking at this and go, I love Carl Urban, and just go, it kind of ticks the boxes in terms of giving us, the gore and fatalities, and ticks all the fan favorites like Sindel and Katana and fucking Tanya or Jade and like all
Baraka
these
stuff,
Baraka is in it, and it's wonderful, but it's just knowing what came before. I just don't think. I think the filmmaker is just going to make or the director is just going to make some poor choices, and it's not going to be as like the movie. Trailer looks shit, but it's not going to be as cool and fun as this. I don't think. I just don't really have any faith in it. And after Jurassic fucking World and all these trailers recently, it's just I'm really stopping getting on the hype train with anything trailer wise at the moment. There's just so many fucking disappointments. Just awful. Yeah. Anything else? Oh, Alien Earth. Did you see Alien Earth?
I did watch the Alien Earth trailer. Yeah. I got to see a xenomorph on Earth, because obviously we've seen xenomorph in the trailer, but it's just really, it was made just to jump towards the camera, just really for the trailer. whereas we're seeing more of the scenes on Earth and stuff now. So I'm getting hyped. It seems that this must be the show that has the most fucking teasers and mini trailers and all sorts.
Yeah.
Seems to be a new one every few weeks. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, we're not too far away, are we? From the not coming out.
Is it August? Is it? I think it's.
I think so.
I think August 12th. Yeah. I loved. Yeah, I loved about this trailer that it seems like it's just showing a lot of the first episode. There's a lot more of the crash, and it seems like that will be a standout sequence. And there's a kind of interesting music choice. It's kind of epic. Gets epic towards the end, but it's that final shot where we see kind of Earth and the camera pans down or tilts down, and you see the xenomorph just standing there underneath, light cascading through a cave or something. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm up for this. I'm up for it.
Yeah.
Even if it's shit, I'll enjoy it.
And the only other thing I had was I suppose on the subject of Carl Urban, whether he plays the role again, I don't know. But Taika Waititi is making a Dread movie apparently.
Oh yeah, fucking that was wild. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, like I don't, as I said, I don't know if it's going to be Carl Urban or if they'll get Alex Garland back in to do some of the writing. I have no idea. I don't know if Alex Garland Taika Waititi partnership would work, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, interested to see what happens with that. Like I loved the one, was it 2015? And when was the last one?
Jesus, it was just
the Carl Urban one,
wasn't it? 2016, 2017 or something like that.
Was it? Okay, yeah. I love that movie. I've watched that a bunch of times. I love the cast and like Olivia Thirlby and Lena Headey, Donald Gleeson, as well as Carl Urban. Obviously,
Lena Headey was amazing in that movie. Terrifying, bad boss. But yeah, like I don't see them going down the Carl Urban route because I love him and I loved him in that role. But I think Taika will have to have to just kind of reboot it and start again fresh because like as good as Dread was, like it didn't just underperform. Like no one saw that movie. Like it made like 40 million globally in total. Like that's just no one went to see it. That's like, oh my god. It was a monumental flop. One of the most monumental flops.
Whereas it's been huge up, but whereas since it's hit streaming and digital stuff, it's done very, very well. I'm sure there's plenty of people who've seen it on the small screen saying, "Shit, why didn't I go and see this in the cinema?" It's it's very fun. But that's all I had in my end. Was there anything else that popped up for you?
Speaking of box office, Superman box office. It's up to like 330 worldwide. This coming weekend's probably going to get past that $400 million mark, just in time before Fantastic Four pops in cinemas. But it's
actually just on the Fantastic Four thing. So the way we're getting like we're getting popcorn buckets now for every fucking movie, popcorn buckets and drinks, and the one for the Fantastic Four, the normal one is fine. It's grand. It's all the different different characters. It's different rings around it. But there's the one the American cinemas is doing one, and it's £80, like it's $80, but it's a gigantic Galactus head. Like I'm talking like this big, like this wide. You just think, the eyes light up and all this fucking thing. It's just a gigantic fucking head. Yeah, the ad, I saw one of the ads for it. It's 2 staff members holding it and shoveling fucking popcorn into it. Just this fucking monstrosity of a thing.
Would you buy it?
They're going.
Would you get it?
No. I mean, I haven't really got any of the. I've seen it. Like a few of them are kind of like, oh yeah, I'll pick that one up because that looks cool, including the Superman one. But then it was like, look, I'm never ever going to use it. Like, it's like the Star Wars, what's it called? When The Force Awakens came out, when that came out, there was a couple of different. I got the metal buckets and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, sweet. I don't know even where the fuck they are. Never got used again. It's just
a buzz of buying them.
Yeah, it was just I'm never going to use them. So I learned my lesson. I was like, don't buy them. It's just going to go in the bin.
Yeah, especially Galactus head. It's like, where the fuck are you going to put that? Brilliant. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. News-wise, let's then get stuck into what we've been watching and playing. And we both have been playing, again, a similar game. The same game.
Yes, the same game. No, I've really only started it. I mean, I've only played like 15 minutes or something of it because I couldn't tear myself away from Zelda. I've still just been playing that when I've been playing. I haven't barely even touched Mario Kart World in the last week. I've just been all over Breath of the Wild. But yeah, I just started it, and it's 15 minutes. So I can't comment on it. Like, it's obviously, being able to fucking punch through walls and the ground and everything. It
Mm.
feels very satisfying. I like that you're just straight into it as well. But I can't really comment too much on it because obviously, 15 minutes isn't really enough to have a proper say what I think of it.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I've watched a couple of new things. I watched Untamed, which is actually better than I thought it was going to be.
Mm.
Netflix show with Eric Bana and Sam Neill. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the other thing was, and this one is very disappointing because I mentioned it a couple of times on the show, The Institute, and the first 2 episodes
Yeah.
I watched of that. And that was a bit disappointing. It's poor execution. Like, it's a great, the book's a great idea. It's a great premise for it and all the rest of it. It's just, no, they've added in stuff I don't like, and they've taken out stuff as well.
Mm.
It's just they don't set it up enough either. Like, they're thrown into some stuff that's in the story. They don't set up enough. They're kind of like, if you haven't read the book, you're like, that doesn't really make any sense. Like, it's luckily I have, obviously, so I know why. But it's just it'd probably be too much for some people. I don't see it doing very well. But yeah, no, that's it. That's all on my end. So you can wax lyrical, but don't spoil. Do not spoil Donkey Kong for me. But you're enjoying
No,
it.
not at all. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's wild that I was kind of looking forward to this game, but more so because of the lack of launch games on the Switch 2. And I was like, oh, Donkey Kong's coming around. That sounds good, looks good. And just, it wasn't something I was like eagerly anticipating or anything like that. But the way going back to Zelda, took me away from Death Stranding, which I was fucking loving, then back into Zelda Breath of the Wild. It was like, oh my God, I'm loving that. And then, you sent me the reviews for, IGN giving 10 out of 10 for Donkey Kong, and it's fucking, was it 90 something Metacritic score? I was like, all right, then, you really know you have to get this fucking absolutely. So got it at midnight on the Thursday or the Wednesday night, and just kind of got stuck into it. And like yourself, it gets you in very quickly. Like, the kind of tutorial level has you smashing all this stuff, and it's like, this is kind of fun. But you are thinking, how long can this kind of gimmick last? But because it's after getting these incredible scores, and some people have played 40, 45 hours in this game, it's like,
Yeah.
how the fuck is it 10 out of 10? Especially like when we talk about Assassin's Creed and stuff like that, where it's great for 10, 15 hours, but then after a while, it starts to just wane a bit and you just fall off, and it becomes monotonous, whatever. But I've played about maybe 8 hours of this, and it's just, I never knew I wanted a 3D Donkey Kong game, and it's from the developers, or most of the developers from Super Mario Odyssey, which makes sense because the world is fantastic. Controls, it's just butterly smooth. The smashing things and smashing through any fucking rock, up or down and whatever, picking up pieces of rock and then jumping and using it as a skateboard or just flying around the place. It's just wild and utterly compelling. So like a perfect example of how you can get sidetracked is, like, you can play the game co-op, and I did that with my daughter, and it's just, she plays as the person on your back and targets thing, and it's a bit of fun. It's mad or whatever, but I just flew through the game with her, and I got to the point that I'm at 8 hours with her in about 50 minutes. I was just like, holy shit. So the amount of time you're sidetracked from just collecting things, or just going through the world, or just that curiosity of going, I wonder what's in. It's not what's hidden in behind a bush or whatever. It's like, I wonder what's inside that rock over there, because it looks like there's something in there. So you just smash the shit out of it, and it's fantastic. And every time you're just going deeper through the earth to try and get to the Earth's core, and it does throw up kind of a few surprises where the gameplay kind of goes like, oh fuck, we're going here now, and there's loads of like mini games and just little side games, and you just get sidetracked all the time, and it's just a ridiculous amount of fun. And like, I was on a shoot in Cork and had to get up at like 7 a.m. and I'm still playing this fucking thing at 3:30 in the morning, going, it's gonna be a long day, man. It's gonna be a long day. But it's amazing, and it's, I just can't wait to get back to it. Every other game be gone. Like, it's wicked. Really, really wicked. I can't wait for you to get deeper into it.
Yeah, we can have a chat about it then, yeah. So anything else for you?
Watching my nothing else. Just playing that fucking game. Yeah, I need to get into TV. That and Superman. Yeah, so hopefully, try and watch something next week, something new. So yeah, then with that out of the way, let's get on to our main event. Superman, the Quest for Peace. Wow. Take it away, Philly.
Oh fuck yes, this is
What an intro.
before. It's oh man,
Wow.
it's so like I hadn't watched this since I was way younger, and so like it's just it's appalling. Like it's so bad, and I know obviously we'll get into all the reasons and production wise and all that kind of stuff, but just from almost every aspect, this is just absolutely shocking. So look, I'm not going to do for you those of you at home. Normally we would do spoiler free and then a spoiler section. This movie came out back in the 80s. I'm not doing a fucking spoiler free. We're just going to talk about it, jump around, take the mick out of it, and and Daz, just jump in whenever you feel like it. Like I'm not doing review side because it is more of a discussion just because you wonderful our wonderful audience members asked for it. But yeah, it's directed by Sidney J. Furie. I would say that, not like he's had a long career. He's like 90 or something. So I wouldn't say judge him just on this movie because he's made loads of stuff. And that seems to be all absolutely terrible as well. So judge him on all of it, not just this one terrible movie. He seems to exclusively make terrible movies. But yeah, it's this one stars the late great Christopher Reeve. Mark Pillow was the name of Nuclear Man, which I just love that. Like, Margot Kidder, Gene Hackman, and John Cryer, who actually played Lex Luthor, and he plays like whatever Lenny Luthor in this, Lex Luthor's nephew, but he actually played Lex Luthor in the Supergirl series. And then an almost unrecognizable Jim Broadbent. I didn't even know he was in this movie until the three guys that Lex meets up, and the tycoons who, for some reason, he introduces them all to themselves. It's like we were talking, and I'm like, Darren Murphy, a man who does that. I was like, oh no, I am, dickhead. Like it's such a weird way. It's like Dr. Evil sitting around like a table introducing everybody. But one of them, it's actually the guy who's French. The French guy was Jim Broadbent.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's almost like that looks so familiar. I'll have to just double check, and had a quick look on IMDb. I can't believe that shit. So this one had a budget of originally 30-something million, but it got hacked down to 17 million, and it looks every penny. Yeah. When you consider that like 6 million of that 17 million was Christopher Reeve's pay. Like it's shocking. Like the Canon Films or whatever it was, name of the company that made it, went bust. They were already going bust, I think, when they were making this.
This was the movie that was going to save them. They're for a history of just making absolute nonsense fucking movies. But I think they made like Bloodsport and stuff. But it's all like Revenge of the Ninja and Ninja 2 and all these fucking ridiculous fucking movies. But it does. Go ahead.
So I was going to say some of the cost saving stuff. Like there's the one part with the Great Wall of China. And it gets knocked down, and really they were going to show him super fast milling around and re-bricking all the stuff that got knocked down. But because they didn't have the money to do that, they just played the scene in reverse, but made Superman look at it with like a beam that is a blue laser eyes that basically is rebuilding superpower, and he just looks like this, and then they cut back. And they play the same scene in reverse as all the bricks go into place on the Great Wall of China that has no Chinese people on it at all. It's amazing.
It's newfound power straight from the comics of just like rebuilding laser look. Just like, what the fuck? That's like some of the cost cutting stuff is because I don't know, did they like cut it? Like they had planned a load of stuff, obviously, and then they cut it kind of in production, kind of going, actually, yeah, remember that thing at the end? Like we don't have any money for that. So the whole movie wraps up in about 20 seconds with just wide shots of Superman flying to Earth, flying back to Earth, the same fucking shot with a little Earth ball, little fucking model. It's just going, oh Christ.
And the gas thing about the way obviously they've cut out so much. Like they cut out 45 minutes, I think it was, of this movie. It was something along those lines, right? So, yeah. So, but like that shows what your man Nuclear Man's fucking like his whole arc. There was supposed to be a second Nuclear Man, and he's obsessed with your one Lacey, and so that's the reason that she ends up getting kidnapped by the other nuclear man. So in the
does that make no sense?
So in the full thing it makes sense. But when you take out
what?
when you take out the first guy, and all of a sudden this guy's coming in and he's kidnapping your own Lacey. Like, what? Why? There's no reason for it because you cut all of the rest of that part out of the film. It's fucking bananas.
There's 40 minutes of a setup that's just not here.
And I don't like. I think like the idea. Like Christopher Reeve did some of the writing on this, and I think the idea of having, because it was obviously made during the Cold War, and I like the idea of having something to do with that and nukes and that kind of basic premise is kind of cool, And
there's about 40 seconds. Yeah, there's about 40 seconds in this movie that's quite good and interesting.
Compelling, like
it's 40 seconds.
But it's like, because it reminded me a little bit of the latest Superman thing, because Superman comes into the fucking whatever United Nations thing, and he says, I can't stand by and watch everybody destroy themselves. I'm taking the decision to disable all the nuclear plants. And it reminded me a little bit of our latest one, of what Lois saying, do you have the right? Like, whose nation or whose country are you? Whose behalf? Whose permission? Blah, blah, blah. And so there's the tiny hint of that, but that's it. It's the only compelling part in the whole movie. Like it's obviously it's fucking absolutely wild. The acting for the most part, especially from like a John Cryer and the cartoony kind of way he's playing this dude is insane. Like it's like
dude.
I literally put in my notes the acting is like it's from a Naked Gun movie. Like it's like a slapstick kind of acting. Like you even get it when anytime Lex is on scene, they have that like real tuba music.
That's the whole fucking thing. It's just like, oh my god, is this a sketch show or something? Like, dun, 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 dun. Oh, here's our over to you, Lex. I have an evil master plan. It's like fucking hell. But Gene Hackman still with absolutely rubbish lines to deliver. Still has like 100% the conviction. He's just like giving it himself.
He crushes it.
Same with Christopher Reeve.
So does Christopher Reeve. Yeah, they crush it. Like, and Margot Kidder as well. I didn't have any issues with it. I thought they were.
They all remember the good times. They remember
exactly.
The good times.
That's and maybe the full length version of this in before it hit production hell. Maybe it was actually they thought it was going well, and that's why they're putting in decent performances. I don't know, but. Like it's gas. The scenes with him are amazing. Like because all of a sudden, Lex is this. Obviously, we know he's a super genius, or whatever. But his whole plan and how we get Nuclear Man, like when you see him working on this little lab, and it's just basically they've got these large test tubes, whatever they're called, large beakers with like it's a classic mad scientist stuff. They just one's got like red liquid in, the other one's and they're overflowing with vapor and stuff. They're not doing anything. They're not hooked up to anything. There's nothing to do with the technology he's using, but it's there so you can see he's got this lab. And it's just in the middle of it's just in the middle of like an apartment or whatever. They're not actually in a lab or anything.
Couldn't afford a lab, like. But that's the thing. Like even when his master plan, where he's just like, oh, I'm gonna jettison this little thing into the sun, and or hide it in a nuke, and Superman's going to throw it into the sun. It's a little box with a little jelly thing that he puts in, but then he cuts up little bits of fucking costume, little bits of paper. That's going to be his clothes.
And he even says it like your man asked the question, and he like dismisses it like the technology that I'm using here. He will he will automatically develop a costume suitable for our whatever human sensibilities. Like. How? Like you've cut up like 2 or 3 little bits of cloth and put them in the box. That'll be grand. Because when he comes and he has his full outfit, it's got the N for Nuclear Man and everything on the front of it. Like this is some fucking
gold tights that from the wrong angle just looks like he's wearing a kind of a Roman little fucking skirt thing. Just like what the fuck's going on? Like, and he's hilarious. Like he just doesn't know what the fuck is going on. He doesn't know what movies it. He does that kind of like this like he's got every power known to man. He shoots lasers, fucking this can blow people all over the place. But he has every time he just arrives on scene, he just does this kind of like it's like a shout, yell, yawn. Look at him.
The poor fellow. This is the only thing he acted in, right? And not surprisingly, but normally if you do a voiceover, because Gene Hackman is doing his voice, is doing the old Nuclear Man voice. Usually you record your man Mark Pillow doing his thing, and then you just record over it, like you do with poor old Arnie Schwarzenegger back when he couldn't fucking speak properly. Like they just dubbed over him. But this way, because obviously they were like, no, we're we're going to record Gene Hackman first. And then Mark Willow had to try and deliver his lines along with like a voiceover that was played of Gene Hackman's. They did their voiceover first. So God love him. Like, he like
ADR on the set before you do your lines.
But like, it's
brilliant.
The whole premise is wild. The whole thing, like, it seems what sparks his whole thing of getting, as you said, Daz, destroying all the nuclear stuff. He wasn't even really thinking about doing that until he gets a letter from this kid in school that goes, "It's fucking shit, there's nuclear weapons, blah, blah, I'm pissed off. I'm going to write a letter to Superman." And so he writes a letter to Superman about, you need to get rid of all the nukes. And you see Clark reading it. And that's his whole thing. Like, it took that little fucking kid in school to say, "I wish Superman would get rid of the nukes." And he go, "Yeah, you know what? Let's have a press conference with the kid, and that's going to be the plan." That's how you got your plot from the fucking kid school.
After he said, or after he addresses the UN or whatever, and kind of goes, "I'm going to get rid of all the nukes," and blah, blah, blah. The next scene is just everyone, they're panicking, everyone just starts firing off nukes.
Well, they all start clapping first as well, though.
Fire a nuke. What the fuck?
Josh, you know what? And those nukes are no problem to anyone, because each one of them is getting fired into space, like way out into space. And when it's out in space, then Superman goes, "Girl, I get that. I'll throw it into the sun." It's already out there in space, and it has no way of coming back down to Earth. So these people are really bad at firing nukes at each other. Like, they're just going straight out into space, and there's no technology, nothing on it that shows it's going to turn around and jet back through the Earth. It goes out of orbit, the whole lot. Superman, just let them go. Just don't bother touching them, because these idiots are fucking terrible at shooting nukes.
But also, you get the whole thing with space as well. It's just like, you'd swear this is 1936 or something. You're just like, ooh, space. It's just like, it's 1987. Like, do people not have a concept of like space? And just like, there's no wind in space. You can't talk in space. Margot Kidder, is she up in space? Is she or is it the publicist? No, she's in space, flying around.
She's literally in space, breathing, talking the whole lot.
Yeah.
Like, don't you know?
That's the thing, talking. It's just like, okay, but and Superman just
space notoriously windy. That's we all know that about space. If we know anything, it's notoriously windy out there, and it's like that his cape is blowing, and he's just standing there doing nothing, and the cape is fucking.
There's a shot like the CGI is, you barely call it CGI, just this fucking entry-level green screen that's just so bad. Like, you can see, or they've shot a lot of it in blue screen, where you can see around the hair, just like a thick layer of blue. It's just like, I fucking do a better job on your phone. Like, but it's just absolutely shocking. But there's a bit where, and then we're jumping to their fight.
Jump all around, man.
But Superman and Nuclear Man are like, they're having a fight, and they're trying to show that they're kind of floating in space. So they've shot it from above, and they must have been on wires or something like that. And they're having a little, they don't even have a fight. They're just kind of wrestling. But the very next shot, they must have just like couldn't afford the wires anymore, because it's this top down shot again, but they're standing on the floor in space. They're just standing there, just like fucking boxing away. It's just like, oh lads, like this, it's like RoboCop 3, like fucking when budgets fell off.
Would it surprise you to know that Christopher Reeve was actually he did director on the parts on the moon and the space and stuff?
No
was
way.
Actually Christopher Reeve. Yeah. So I think they were going to let him direct a bit more. I think after seeing that, they were like, no, we'll keep you off that. Like.
Yeah. Can I see the footage? No.
The moon. That's not.
Yeah, fucking hell.
But then, like, even from the whole start, like, because the start of it, you see it's a Russian satellite, and they're Russians doing in their no gravity thing. It actually looked okay. I was like, oh, that isn't actually
not too bad.
But then Superman comes in to save them, and like he one poor astronaut's after getting fucking flying off, getting knocked off into space, and he's bringing him back to the Soviet spaceship satellite thing. He doesn't even look inside to see if the rest of them are wearing helmets. He just fucking opens the door and fucking puts your man back in, and then speaks in Russian. Have a good one, stay safe, and close it. You could have killed everybody in there, you mad thing. But it just he does a few different saves like that. I think this might be the first movie Superman speaking different languages because he saves
Yeah,
people in Italy later on, and
he
he
speaks
speaks a bit of
Italian.
Italian.
Like, fucking
Yeah,
hell. No Chinese though for the Great Wall, because there's no Chinese people there. It was all Americans on the Great Wall of China, which is fucking
it
hilarious.
was, it was really funny looking Great Wall. To be fair, that all the flights up and down from from space straight down to Earth, which take a millisecond, and they're just hilarious. Like you said, the fucking blue screen is shocking. Because like think about this, this was this 87 that something that this came out.
Yeah, so it's
Like
9 years later, like.
yeah, but this is
the
10.
VFX
Like
has gone backwards.
we've had Star Wars for 10 years at this point.
Hmm.
Like the first Star Wars that came out. Like so there is no excuse for this at all. I mean,
sure, even the start. I mean, because it's like an hour and 25 minutes or something. It's really, really obviously because fucking 3/4 of an hour missing, like that they couldn't afford. But like, I think it's about 3 minutes of credits at the start. And I know that kind of always is in these movies. But like, I don't know if you know, like the score, it's the iconic John Williams score. But did they hire a fucking marching band?
I know they just they just basically remixed. Yeah, but they just remixed his score. They just changed bits from the John Williams score and cut it up.
Some
of
it sounds
none of this is new.
Like, yeah. I swear to God, there's some bum notes and trumpets there, and just going. Is somebody? Are they trying to do something here? Just going. Is there a take two? What the fuck is happening? The quality is awful. It's like, come on, lads.
Yeah, I think they were just chopping and changing stuff from other John Williams scores from their movies to Richard Donner's one. Because it was really, really bad.
So bad.
But like the whole thing at the start when you see him in his he's at home in Smallville and he's cleaning out his parents' house or whatever. Like he goes into his shed and that thing that has when he hears his mother's voice, what's her name? Lara?
Fuck is that?
Whatever her name is. He goes in. It's like this green lump that's under a tarp in the bottom of the shed. And
in a pool, in a glowing pit or something. So what the fuck is that?
It talks to him on his voice and her voice, and gives it a bit of exposition. Take this thing out, and you can use it for this. But once you use it once, that's it. All the power of Krypton or whatever is gone. And it mentions it a few times. And when he goes to his Fortress of Solitude, they obviously couldn't afford Marlon Brando and whoever else. So they have these random dudes who are like,
oh yeah, Krypton, the council or something like that.
And they're just giving out to him. One guy's head does a fade out. It's like Wizard of Oz, like he does a fade out while he's saying shame, shame, or something like that. As his voice just fades out into nothing. I'm melting, and off he fucking disappears. It's ridiculous. So hokey looking, man.
It's just it's just. The start is pretty appalling, and you would expect that to be kind of the strongest part because I didn't remember too much of the start. I always remembered once Nuclear Man arrives, and I was like, surely there's some good stuff in here, maybe with family life at home. But it gets to the point that I remembered. Oh, the only part I liked from this movie is it's all those little miniature Superman moments where, the guy comes up to try and get him to sell the farm and he's just like, I'm a wholesome guy, I want to sell it to a real farmer. And then just fucking, hits a baseball into fucking space or something. You're kind of going, oh, I remember why I kind of thought I liked this back then, because there's about 11 seconds of him doing kind of Superman stuff that doesn't look utter shite. And there's later on there's the one where he gets into the back of the limo and gets out the other side of the limo. And you're like, oh, that's cool, but it's not. It's really not.
But you know what is great though is Christopher Reeve's portrayal of Clark Kent being a klutz, because he's doing that when the ball first gets thrown to him, by your man. He doesn't want to let him know I'm Superman. He completely misses it and almost falls over when he's trying to do the gym class and he's keeping up with year one and he keeps doing it wrong, but he's doing it wrong so naturally. Like this guy is Superman, but so he's having to, portray himself as a klutz. And I thought he did all that stuff in the gym absolutely perfectly. He plays into Clark being this, absolute goofy moron. And it's, I think, I know this is obviously off topic slightly, but I love that speech from Kill Bill, Volume 2, where David Carradine is telling us about the superhero comic. And I like these saying like the people put on costumes to become their alter ego. And this is where Superman stands alone because Clark Kent is Superman's disguise, and Clark Kent is his critique on the human race, and he's a coward, and he's unsure, and it's wonderful, wonderful scene, great dialogue, because of course it is, and it's so true, and that's how Christopher Reeves is playing. He plays him super clumsy, and yes, Clark Kent and our other ones like Henry Cavill and all the rest of it, they play them well, but they're not exactly,
they're
totally different.
Like Henry,
like Henry Cavill, Superman, and Clark Kent, and they're not as if his Clark Kent is fucking dorky or dopey or unsure of himself, or you really should be able to tell that Superman. Forget the whole glasses thing. You should be able to tell. But like
it's the same fucking hair, isn't
it? I just think I loved Christopher Reeve's kind of physical comedy in this, the physical stuff of his Clark Kent thing and his change in attitude between him being Superman and Clark is great. I think he was wonderful. Not in the movie was wonderful. I just liked his performance as that.
He is just like, he's a shining light in every Superman movie that he's been in. But this one, obviously, like he's dealing with some kind of shoddy stuff and kind of weird stuff as well, like the subway thing. When he saves the subway and he stands on the thing, saves it, but then it's just this weird messaging. Like we were talking about the whole UN and the nuclear thing, and those 40 seconds where you're going, I see that, like, if somebody wrote this down and fucking on a post-it and kind of went, here's my idea for a Superman, or a Superman movie, you go, okay, yeah, that's fucking interesting, an interesting time in politics or whatever, go for it. But then it's kind of messaging like about the subway system. He just like gets out and he's just like, I think that he stops the subway and saves everybody, and then the cops arrive and he gets out of the subway and he's just like, yeah, there's a few people in there that need tended to, but I just want to make sure that they know our subway system is still the safest way to travel in the city or something. It's like, who are you talking to?
They took the piss out of it, didn't they?
Just the people watching
Superman
in New
Returns,
York.
Remember? They took the piss out of that in Superman Returns because he stops the plane from crashing, and he says, well, statistically, it's still the safest way to travel.
Yeah, just like, that's so
but also,
bizarre.
What are the odds? Because that's a subset. He's just, Clark Kent is just too late to get on the subway with Lois Lane, Margot Kidder, and the train takes off. What are the odds on that being the subway thing where the conductor just passes out? Like, there's no, all of a sudden it's just boom, she just passes out. What did we find out? Was that person poisoned, or is there a reason? What are the odds?
It looked like he was having a fucking heart attack. It looked like he was having a heart attack, and Superman is kind of like, I think everyone's okay. I think that man is just needs a bit of help, and just like, it need a bit more fucking more than help. But he's just like, he just passed out, or he's just holding his chest and fucking fell to the ground. Just like, come on, Supes.
What are the odds on it being the one subway thing that Lois just happens to be on, that he just happened to not get on? And so he goes in and does into a phone booth and does his change.
Because like that's the thing in terms of like when you don't see him flying, and there's the the kind of double date scene where it's kind of makes no sense in the fucking movie and it's pointless, but it's kind of slapstick and like in a self-contained scene. You're like, this is kind of a sketch show or something. Imagine Superman having a double date or something. It's kind of interesting how they do that, and he comes in screen and off screen and changing personas, and it's great. It's fucking stupid, but it's fun to watch, mainly because of Christopher Reeve. But like that's because you don't really see him flying or do anything else. When you see him actually flying in this, it's so slow. Everything's just like, up we go, and it's like, wow, it's faster than a speeding fucking chewing gum being thrown through the air. Like, what? It's awful. Like, that's why, it doesn't really work.
Do you know what's great, actually, right? And I'm jumping miles ahead again, but there's the part where what's his face, Nuclear Man, does one of these corkscrew things. He spins down and he makes a volcano erupt.
Oh yeah.
And so Superman corks it. He flies to another mountain, shoots his laser eyes across, and gets the thing, and then he flies up and just lobs this thing in and corks the top of the volcano. Like, that's scientifically possible, I'm sure. Definitely that won't cause a massive build-up of pressure and make things 10 times worse. But yeah, just absolutely brilliant. It's like, was it Superman 2? What was one where he blows on the pond or a lake, He freezes it,
Oh, I think that
and then
is that one. Is that one?
it could be one. It could
Yeah.
be one. It's just he's
Yeah.
flying across with this huge disc of water. You're like, oh man.
The lake. Yeah, it's fucking
um,
nonsense.
right. There's one scene I wanted to talk to you about. Right, this is shocking. This is when Lenny Luthor comes and to break Lex Luthor out of his chain gang.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
where he is. Lex Luthor's working like bait on like chain gang in a quarry kind of thing, and he's surrounded by dudes and there's cops that are fucking telling them to get on with it, and prison wardens or whatever they are. They're just like, yeah, come on, get on with it, Lex, stop acting the bollocks. This guy shows up and he's got this convertible, and the cops are like, wow, that's an amazing car you got. He goes, yeah, it's got these features. Why don't you jump in and have a go? And once they get into it, he pulls out a little remote control thing and he starts making it's all full of traps, and he fucking ding, this locks the doors, ding, this fucking puts the thing up, this puts the seats up, and then he fucking makes it go flying forward, and this car flies through the air, lands on its roof like fucking proper destruction derby. And then because they don't want anybody to die in this movie, the two of them walk out, like I said, like a Naked Gun movie. They walk out and they're all disheveled, covered in fucking dust, the hairs and stuff, and they're climbing up and they're all like as if it's like an old-time movie where someone lights a cigar and it explodes and they're left with like soot all over their face kind of thing. It's so slapstick. Like, those two motherfuckers should be dead as doornails.
And they are dead. And they didn't have enough budget for an explosion, so when it just cuts to they don't even show the wreckage, they show just a low camera where you can't see the car, and there's just like a little black puff of smoke coming up, which is going like that's the cheapest bit of smoke you've ever seen in your life. But then the guys just emerge, climbing up the side of the cliff, and it's so wildly slapstick, and that music is still playing. Boom, 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 boom. It's like, hey, look, Gene Hackman's freed. It's just fucking so bad.
Yeah, it's shocking.
He's a horrible character. John, was it Lenny? Lenny just does your fucking nothing. Just infuriating. Yeah.
I like the whole thing about it as well. Is that Lex is now freed. He all of a sudden has this fucking unreal. That looks like it must be like some massive penthouse apartment or something. That place where he's doing business and seems to be living in, doing his science and all that shit. This place is unreal. He's back into being minted, doing stuff with these other criminals. And how has nobody just gone and how is he not found immediately? Like, he's escaped this chain gang. How's that people not find him immediately?
Sure, he even puts his even as that message on Times Square in Metropolis, which is like,
they don't how they explain that is bizarre, because he another throwaway line, because happens that Clark Kent, he hears hey Clark, or hey Superman, look out the window. So
how does he know
where he is?
Yeah, how does he know?
I don't know
where he is, and why is he talking to him, Clark, and saying look out the window to your left? And it's just like, how? And it's on a frequency only you can hear.
And I get it, only you can hear. I would get that part if maybe it was like,
how do you know where he is?
If Lex knew some sort of frequency. But yeah, firstly, he needs to know where he is. Also, which way he's facing inside the apartment that he's in, that he says, look out to your left. And then, why is he on the giant square? It kind of defeats the purpose of only Superman being able to hear him. If you're on the biggest screen in the city on the side of a fucking building, your whole face saying the plan, like, it's kind of defeats the whole purpose of it only being for Superman, when everybody can see it. It's
fuck that, yeah.
It's fucking it's absolutely bananas. But the whole creation of Nuclear Man, as you said at the start, he basically has this little box. It looks like where a nightclub entry keeps their float for the night. Those little tiny metal tins, coin yolks. Like, it looks like one of those, a tiny little cash box thing that they just have painted white, and they stick it on the side of one of these missiles that's getting shot into space and is never going to hurt anybody, and they should just let it go. So Superman gets it, throws it in with the rest of them, and fucking, he's flinging them all into the sun, all these rockets. And this thing unleashes this fella, and out he comes with his fucking superpower. But once he lands, and he lands when he's with Lex Luthor in his apartment, it seems to be that once he kind of walks into the shadow, like once he's almost out of the actual direct sunlight, he just kind of seems to power off, like someone hit an off button on him. It's like he's like, yeah, well, nobody's perfect. He has to have a weak point. That's a pretty fucking bad weak point. Go indoors
Yeah.
and you're dead. Like that's pretty shit. Like,
Or in Metropolis / New York, just like, yeah, if you don't go, you go down the avenues, but don't go across the streets because you're just fucked until you get to the other side. Like,
you can be a
it's
super bad guy, not at nighttime, mind you. So just during the day, cause all the havoc, but at nighttime, lock up somewhere safe because you're basically just going to be like off button. Someone's just pulled your batteries out.
that's like later on when Superman pushes the moon in front of in front of the sun to create a lunar eclipse, which is like only a thing when you're on Earth, and just like if you if you do it in space, like if you're 10 feet to the left or the right, it's probably still going to hit you. Like, just, what the fuck is that?
Not only
I'm just
that,
going to
like,
move the moon out of orbit.
You moving the moon is probably going to kill so many people on Earth. You probably cause tsunamis.
All the
and
wildlife
like,
are dead, and water, yeah, fucking fish, everything's dead. Like, yeah, with tsunamis everywhere, like you kill everyone, and it didn't
Superman
work.
arriving back to Earth, delighted with himself, and like, oh shit, what the fuck happened down here? I've been fighting this guy with the long fingernails up in space.
Yeah, what was with the fingernails? Just for that one thing where he claws the back of Superman, and just a vicious fucking claw on the back of his neck that just vanishes. The next scene, it's just not there anymore. It's like, oh, okay. But his fucking powers, like because his powers are fucking wild. Like the Reparo-Vision fucking shit is just bananas. But it's like the setup for him kissing Lois and the forget-me-not kiss, just give her a little kiss and she forgets everything. But like before that scene is just bananas. Like, because she comes into the gaff and she's like, "Are you okay?" He's, "Oh no, I'm just feeling a bit down." And he just holds her hand and he just walks out of his apartment, just jumps off the side of the building. She's like hanging on to him. "It's okay, Clark. It's not that bad." As if he's just going to kill himself, and you're just
and she's doing a bit
like, I'll go down with you. And that, like, you talk of like this been almost 10 years after the original movie, which think about the scenes there, the helicopter person falling off of the kid in Niagara Falls, and how just beautifully, like, as implausible and physics be damned or whatever, but it's just so graceful, the editing of that original movie. And in this, like, she falls and then he's falling with her, and then he just kind of disappears, comes back, and then comes back in to grab her with awful CGI, but awful editing. It's horrendous. It just makes no sense. It's just like, what's it? People are they slowing down? What's happening? And she's falling, and it's just not even a good fall. Just stick a fucking green fucking tarp over a fucking table and just shoot her from above. Flail your arms, but she's kind of going sideways, and when he catches her, they kind of go up, and it's just off at a weird angle. And then they do this stupid thing, which they kind of always do in these movies, where when they're flying and he's just flying and holding her hand, so it's
like Peter Pan and Wendy flying along.
Yeah,
like at one stage he lets her go and she flies on her own.
She flies.
Yeah, and she flies on her own. So we had to enjoy flying around. So, yeah, it was great. Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay, yeah. We move on. Oh my god. It's just
that
moments
whole,
like that.
But because that whole scene, I was like, oh, this is him telling her that he's Superman. Oh, wow. I thought that was at the scene. I was like, wow, it's very, didn't make a big deal out of it. She's come in to check on him because basically those scratches from Nuclear Man basically gave Clark Kent or Superman a really bad flu. That was pretty much it. Like, so he's in his apartment all wrapped up, and he's just in the apartment. He's watching junk on TV and probably eating a pint of Ben and Jerry's, and he's just feeling really down about things. But she calls over to his gaff, and like within like minutes, he's like, he fucking takes, "I have something to tell you." Take out the glass. Oh, is this him? And tell her, and this is, they're gonna know. But no, he just, when they come back into the apartment and he wipes her mind.
He just kisses her and then mind's wiped, and you're like, what the fuck is the point of that? What? It's pointless and stupid and silly. Like, are you retconning the whole thing again, where it's just like, oh, I told her again. No, and just like, oh, we'll save it for Superman 7 when he just tells her for real. But like, I just never understood that power anyway, which is like, Superman 1 is great up to a point, and then there's always moments where you're just like, oh, okay, you're flying around the earth, reversing time. Just like, you forget about that when you think about it being an absolute classic and all that. But their final battle when they get back to Metropolis, Nuclear Man again, like there's a moment. It's weird. It's just a weird edit where they didn't have any budget for an effect. So like police cars arrive and police cops arrive, and one guy kind of jumps over the bonnet and, and points his gun at Nuclear Man, and he just does something like a woo with his hands, and then he reverses the
It
guy.
just played
So
reverse.
he plays it reverse, and the guy hops back over the bonnet, and the police cars reverse backwards, and then they put some explosions in the background. It's like what the fuck is happening here? Like, and then he looks at somebody and he levitates people up in the air, and he kind of spins them around. You're like, okay, and then he makes a gun go into rubber or
That actually
jelly or
didn't look
something.
too bad. When those guys were all floating in there, the bunch of guys, is like, oh, that actually doesn't look as terrible as everything else around that same scene.
But that's the thing, like,
terrible,
I mean,
but it was still pointless. It was still why are they up
and
there?
why does he have all these different fucking powers? And it's like, okay, fair enough, but when he levitates people up into the air, it's just like, this just going, okay, what's the payoff to this? So they just cut to Superman, and he just looks up as well and makes them go down. Like, what? What? Like, he can repair walls and Great Wall of China. Now he can just anti-levitate people just by looking. And they don't even bother with blue lasers out of his eyes. He just kind of squints. It just comes down. Like, okay, fuck man.
even the kind of his X-ray vision is shocking. Like near the start, he sees your man approaching. He looks through the barn door, and like there's no like fucking make any kind of wobbly and disappear and stuff. They literally just cut it from he's looking at the barn door to bam, he sees the fucking truck, and then they just kind of cut it. Like it's such a rough cut back in. You're like, is that supposed to be his fucking? That's how you're showing us his X-ray eyes? That is fucking shocking. And this is at the very start of the movie. Like we are in for a rough ride.
Yeah. But yeah, I think you can tell that. Especially towards the end of the movie, that they've used probably a lot of their VFX budget just on the little electro things going around him, which are like you can do that, easy enough. But it's like, oh, these orange little electrical fucking charges going around him, and it just there's a scene where towards the end where it's supposed to be epic, where Nuclear Man inside the bottom of the building in the lobby just flies up through the floors of the building, and he's got all the electrical stuff flying around him. And he lets out one of those fucking yelp yawn fucking things, and then he just kind of goes to fly up, but he flies up so slowly. He's just like and like he's just been dragged and the pulley is broken or something, so he just slowly just crashes through the ceiling and then crashes through the next ceiling, and then they cut to outside and the windows of the floors are smashing, and it's like, that's not happening. He's not going that fast. Like, this is not epic in any way. This is just silly, and like, come on, man. People must have been editing this just laughing their ass off, going, fuck it,
Yeah, it's absolutely shocking. And even when he kills him like a nuclear plant or whatever, like, because he's Nuclear Man.
And when he drops him, he goes straight into a hole.
Yeah, so it's like this Nuclear Man shaped hole that's cut out that they drop him into, and he becomes like he turns into electrical power.
Powers the city forever.
Essentially he recycles Nuclear Man. That's what he does. He puts him in and he gets used as electricity for the power grid for all the people. So he basically recycles this superhero.
Well, at least it's a better death than what Superman thought was going to happen, which is, or like how he thought he was going to kill him, because his first attempt he just locked him in a lift, just threw the lift into space. The moon.
And left him there. That'll fucking take care of you. But of course, then not realizing the sun is in space, you fucking moron. It comes up and fucking and of course powers your man back up again. Like, of all the places to put him where he might not get any light, putting him out there in space where the sun is, probably not a great idea. Why not bury him under the sea or something like that, where down into a dark chasm and fucking cover him with a bunch of rocks? He's never getting out of there.
Yeah.
No.
But just like, they just reuse so many shots to try and paper over the cracks, and like the ending where it's literally, you don't see any scenes. It's just Superman flying back to Earth. It's just not even a forced perspective or anything. It's just a wide shot with a little ball, Superman flying back, and then it just kind of fades and he flies back with someone else. Just like, okay, that's what he's doing. And then like the Statue of Liberty thing, they even just reversed the shot where the Statue of Liberty is picked up and then he saves it. Superman saves the Statue of Liberty that the other guy's trying to fucking throw somewhere, and he's trying to fly it back, and he's being depowered. So it's just kind of like he lets go of it essentially, and it just goes right back
Lands
onto where it
exactly.
was, exactly where it was. Just like, pretty sure that's the same shot, just reversed, guys. Fucking hell. Yeah,
It's like Spaceballs, where the Mega Maid has the big thing, and
yeah.
they switch it on and it's pulling everything up, and then they flick the yoke onto reverse, and then it just puts everything back, and so all the trees and everything all go back into their exact spot. Like it's exactly like that. But yeah, look, I
Uh,
mean, we could go on about, we could pick this apart and take the piss out of every single
uh,
scene because it is absolutely shocking. But like, let's imagine we're seeing this for the first time, right? How many stars would you be giving this?
ooh, Jesus. I'd have to, yeah, I'd give it one. You could give it a half star. I'd give it one, maybe even 1.5, just for the sheer gall to release this.
Oh
In the
yeah,
state and it's. I would argue that it's probably more enjoyable to watch than Superman Returns.
just because of a take the piss
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
absolutely.
get
Like
that.
Superman
Yeah,
Returns, like I watched that recently, and it's just it's amazing because you watch the plane scene so many times. But when you watch the actual movie, it's 2.5 hours of it, just this weird love triangle thing. There's just like no one wants. We've been waiting 20 years. No one wants to see this fucking movie. Like, oh my god, it's just amazingly boring. And this is a lot more fun to watch anyway. Yeah, not exactly top tier,
no,
but
but
yeah,
further
probably
on,
one
yeah,
star, one star because it's
yeah.
just
I think one
abysmal.
is, and I'd be giving that like the partly for Christopher Reeves and partly for in his performance, and part because him and Gene Hackman are giving it their all.
Mm.
Partly for that, and partly for the fact that it's fun to take the piss out of. But this is a shocking movie. Like this is one I would recommend, though. I recommend people see
Oh,
this for just to show how much of a disaster production was
mm.
that it came to this. That it came
Mm.
to being, having starting off with a budget of like 36 million, and then
Halving
it
the
gets cut to
budget, like
17.
that's
Yeah, and they have to do what they can with it. The stuff, the fact that the story doesn't make sense because of all this bits and pieces cut out of it. The people being able to survive in space, like
dog.
like yeah, that's absolutely wild. Like it's a bananas movie that's worth seeing, just because of how ridiculous it is. And I can't imagine it'll be too hard to fucking find. It's probably free on YouTube or something. Because
I fucking I'd buy this for like 4.99.
did you buy it
And
on Amazon?
yeah,
Because it came up on Amazon. It was like you have to buy it. I am not buying this. I will be
I'm
getting
ashamed,
this
but
a different way, and I did that.
um, but yeah, thanks for taking us through this. Yeah, definitely worth a watch if you haven't caught it because it totally explains the absence of Superman character from our lives on the screen for about 20
Yeah.
years. And then watch Superman Returns, and that'll explain the following 10 years. But yeah, that was great. Yeah, nice, fun bit of nonsense. Next week we have Fantastic Four coming up, which really excited about. Last few trailers
Yes,
and TV
please be
spots
good.
look pretty good, and early reviews or early like social media thing is the embargo's up on Monday. That's when this comes out, but there are a couple of people online saying it is quite good or really good. So yeah,
Okay.
looking
Actually,
forward to
just
that.
on that side of things, together the Alison Brie and Dave Franco
Oh yeah,
movie.
yeah.
So 53 reviews so far. We're not getting it until a little while after the
Oh
states,
yeah.
but 53 reviews so far, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh wow.
So if anything,
Yeah.
I'm like it'll be an interesting watch. I mean, these are the early Rotten Tomato reviews. These are people
Mm.
who got access early to go and see it. So a lot of times it's hard to judge on them because you don't want to rag on a movie you're after getting invited to the premiere of
Yeah.
because
True. Yeah.
you may not get invited to the next one. So it can always
Mm.
be these early reactions can be kind of hit or
Mm.
miss, but it's promising. And yeah, I don't think we're getting this until August, whereas I think in the States they get it next week. So yeah, it's a bit of a
Jammy bastards. Quick flight to
yeah,
New
it's
York for
annoying.
us. Yeah. Why not? But yeah. So watch the space. Fantastic Four next week. So yeah, that's the end of this episode. Thanks as always for liking, sharing, subscribing, ticking all the boxes, and keep the feedback coming. We will not be doing another Superman movie until in 2 years' time. So yeah, take it handy and catch you next time.
Take it easy.